Aaron Nelson versus Drew Shippy kicking off our next bout post-intermission. Aaron Nelson making his way to the cage now.
You know I love a good story.
Yeah.
And I hear that there is a story behind this fight.
There most certainly is. This fight is 4 years in the making. 4 years in the making, this fight. These two definitely have some history. They were supposed to fight a number of years ago and had some pre-fight issues that halted the bout from happening. So they will get to make up for lost time here 4 years later and finally settle their differences.
I'll just say the story as I've heard it. I'm just gonna go there.
Go for it.
So the story that as it has been told to me is that the bout was on, Shippy was in the cage, and Nelson approached the cage and then literally turned around and headed out of the venue.
He certainly had second thoughts, and that's kind of Kansas City MMA folklore to a degree, but
I wasn't there. It's certainly, again, it's just what I've heard. I'm sure Nelson will look to avenge that story, if nothing
absolutely.
else.
They get to settle it all right here, right now.
Much respect to anyone who gets in the cage, honestly. I don't care what your history is. If you've had moments where you weren't super proud of what happened, you come in that cage, you have my respect.
154 and 1/2 pounds. From Odessa, Missouri, please welcome Drew Shippy.
Drew Shippy has a extensive wrestling pedigree. He has guaranteed to keep this fight standing until he knocks
Lost to their
Shippy, very, very vocal as he steps in the cage, making sure Nelson is locked in for this fight.
Nelson.
Shippy wearing the black Valley Tudo shorts. Nelson in the camouflage trunks.
These young men do not like each other, but they get to figure it out right here. KCFA 14, Shippy versus Nelson.
Shippy has a look on his face where I think he might like to really hurt Nelson, some bad intentions.
He certainly has bad intentions.
And he's showing it right now.
Very good body kick.
Nelson winced badly from that body kick.
Shippy throwing the kitchen sink at Nelson early, opening up with strikes.
Shippy supremely confident, dropping his hands already in this first round. Another beautiful body kick. Nelson did not like the feel of that.
Nelson looking to slow Shippy down a bit, clinching up. Back to the middle they go. Good outside leg kick from Shippy. Oh! Shippy catches Nelson, makes him stand back up.
Allows him to stand back up. I have a feeling that Shippy might want to drag this one out a bit. There's no doubt at this point that this is personal.
Oh, absolutely. Nelson loses his footing briefly.
Those mats can be very, very slick the further you get into the night with sweat. I know that. Oh, man. Nelson dropped briefly. Shippy again allows him to stand. I saw a look from referee Mike England that said, I'm not going to let you continue to do this too many more times, in terms of Shippy nearly knocking him out and then allowing him to stand back up again.
Shippy throwing big shots.
And again, yes, referee Mike England has seen enough.
Very good stoppage.
Nelson complaining about the stoppage, interestingly enough, but
I believe he thought he got struck in the back of the head on that last one. Drew Shippy just looked very, very comfortable from the beginning of that fight to the end.
Nelson very, very frustrated, very mad, coming over to Shippy.
They shake it up. Hopefully bury the hatchet.
Not quite sure if they're burying the hatchet or, I think so.
Continuing the problem.
I see a lot of touching of gloves. I also see a lot of gesturing. I'm not sure what's going on in there.
As cliche as it sounds, sometimes fighting does solve a problem or two.
A victorious Drew Shippy here tonight. If you look back at these highlights, Nelson could barely keep his feet under him at one point.
It just seemed like Drew Shippy kind of found his comfort earlier and really opened up on Nelson early.
Really looked to punish him.
The winner by TKO via strikes out of the red corner, Drew Shippy.
They're still continuing to talk inside the cage. Not sure if it's positive talk or negative talk, but talk nonetheless.